Good morning, everybody. According to the official timekeeping system of the United States of America, my Verizon wireless cell phone, Apple 15, not paid off yet. It is exactly 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central, 8 o'clock Mountain, 7 o'clock Pacific. And if you're listening to us from the great states of Hawaii or Alaska, I bet you just a wee bit earlier in the morning there. Thanks so much for joining us today. This is the National Social Security Advisor Certificate Program Social Security Open Forum. It's a beautiful day in Blue Ash, which is a suburb of Cincinnati, Ohio. And Jim, what's your weather like?
About the same, nice and sunny, kind of in the 70s today. So,
Very good. Okay. But just, yeah, it's going to get a little cooler, isn't it, Jim? Or is it going to get warmer?
it's supposed to be in the 70s pretty much for the next week, according to the guy last night.
Tomorrow should be a pretty good day. Election day. Can't wait to see how things are going to go nationwide. I voted about 3 weeks ago. Jim, have you voted yet?
Yeah, I voted a while back.
Okay, well, I hope our votes do not cancel out each other.
I
I'm
believe they
hoping
did.
I'm hoping everybody has voted already. 74 million folks have voted so far in early voting, so I'm excited about that. All right, before we kind of get going, I want to let you know, over time, Jim and I always get the question about what our future game plan is. What's our exit strategy? Well, you guys probably all know that I've been kind of setting out some. I've got to see who's talking. That I've been sending out emails lately, newsletters indicating that we are going through some restructuring. Well, we are. Nothing is official at this point, but it will be official fairly soon if it becomes official at all. So this is, I want to just let you know how things are going to change if things do become official, effective in January 2025. There's another company that will be taking over our program in January. Doesn't mean that Jim and I are going away. We're not. We're still going to be around for at least in 2025. But a few things will happen because of that. Number one, tuition is going to increase somewheres between a third to two-thirds, depending on if you want to do the webinar on demand or a
Available.
please everybody mute yourself on demand or live in-person class. The You can lock in the 2024 tuition by just registering for a class next year, and you pay the tuition that's in effect this year. The lifetime renewal is going away beginning next year, but of course there will still be a renewal, just can't pay for lifetime. So if you do need to renew, I would suggest that you go ahead and just pay the lifetime renewal this year. This way you won't have to worry about it going forward. I believe in starting in 2025, renewal will be every year instead of every other year, about $200 a year. So it's about the same as it is now, but it's going to be every year instead of every other year. There won't be any more holiday special webinars after 2024. So if you have colleagues that want to take advantage of our holiday special webinar, this is a good year to do it because you won't be able to do it next year. And also, the open forums won't be every other week in 2025. They will be once a month, along with the update webinars, also once a month. One of these will be on the first Wednesday of the month. Excuse me, folks. And the other one will be on the second and on the last Wednesday of the month. I just don't know which one is which. And finally, I don't know the status of Harold. He better not go away. I'd be disappointed if he does. So anyway, more information will be distributed to everybody over time. No doubt by the end of this year, you'll know more. But nothing, like I said, nothing is official today. But if everything goes according to plan, it will be official in about 2 weeks. Jim, would you like to add anything to that?
I just saw a question. If you already did the lifetime membership, it will be honored. So it's just going away for new folks.
Yeah, for new folks. You got it. All right. Well, let's start the festivities. You know the drill. If you want to be sure that we get to you, raise your hand. I see Alisa, you've already raised your hand, so I'll go to you. Go for it.
I just had a quick question. I wanted to confirm that if a spouse, so say a husband is on disability, he's 63 years old, and the wife is 62 years old and has no benefit of her own, she can start taking spousal because he's on disability, correct?
Correct. And it doesn't matter, even if he was 55, as long as she's 62,
Okay.
uh, the fact that he's drawing a benefit, she could draw off of his work record.
Okay, that's what I thought. Thank you.
Thanks, Alisa. Great. Nick, you're on, Nick. You're up. Nick Burns, do you want to say anything? There you go. Oh, no. You're on mute. Here
Sorry,
you go.
sorry. No, I didn't. I don't have any question.
Okay, thanks, Nick. Hello, Aaron. You're next.
Hey, Mark. Yeah, I didn't have any questions till you made that announcement. So just curious, who would be taking it over
I
and
can't
will our
say.
designations change?
No, nothing will change.
Okay.
But
All
I
right.
can't
Thanks.
say yet until it's official.
Okay. Thank
If
you.
I say who it is, that would be kind of putting the jinx on it, right? But
No,
it's
we
like,
don't want to jinx.
don't want to jinx it. You're right. So nothing, yeah, but nothing will change in that regard. All right, Mike, you're up now. Mike, you raised your hand.
Yes. As
Mhm.
far as earnings test goes, the you'll take a reduction if you're making too much in your Social Security, if you're making too much, if you've taken Social Security early before FRA. But you get that back over your lifetime, and your survivor will get it if you don't live very long, correct?
Yeah, those
Yes.
are called credit months. Sorry, Mark.
No, you go for it, Jim. That's fine.
All right, they're called credit months. So, when you start your benefits, the reduction factors based on the number of months you are away from full retirement age. But for any month that you don't receive a full monthly benefit, they will adjust that reduction factor. So you do see an increase in benefits, and that is permanent. It's permanent for the number holder. It's also permanent for the surviving spouse if they survive him and draw their pension. So you're
then,
correct.
in essence, if you're 62 or 63 and you're making too much money and you get a reduction in your Social Security, in essence, you could actually end up getting more because if your surviving spouse lives to an old age, as an example, or you live to an old age.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you filed 62 and your full retirement age is 67, your benefits reduced 30%. Uh, if you only receive 30 checks because of your earnings through the point where you reach your full retirement age, they'll adjust that reduction factor from 60 to 30. So instead of your PIA, instead of getting 70% of your PIA, you'll get like 85% of it. So you do see an increase in your benefit, and then your survivor also gets advantage of that.
And if you live long, then you could end up actually getting more money from Social Security because of that reduced earnings test qualification.
Yeah, yeah, it's permanent reduction, and it's not just to get your money back, but it is permanent. So if you live long enough, you'll get more back, or it is a joint uh, so break even point there, I guess.
Okay. And then I have one other question, if you don't mind, also. Um, as a surviving spouse, will you ever get an increase on the survivor's benefits, assuming he took it early, like he took it at 62 and she lives longer than him? And does she get a step up to his PIA or FRA at some point, or no?
Well, yeah, if she survives him, and the amount she's eligible for is higher than her own benefit, then yes, she would receive.
Well, I understand if it's higher than her own benefits.
Yeah.
So if he was making 3,000 and she was making 1,500, yeah, the 1,500 goes away, and she in essence nets the 3,000. But because he took it early, he didn't get his full PIA. Okay, does she get a step up to that full PIA?
Oh no, she gets what he was receiving. Uh, oh, if she's full retirement age, she gets 100% of what he was receiving.
So there's no way she's going to ever get more than what he was receiving.
Right.
Okay. I was told different by somebody in the know, supposedly. So that's good. That's why I asked you guys. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, technically, I mean, I guess it's possible in that they look at either what he was receiving or 82.5% of the PIA. But if she's full retirement age, pretty much it's what he was receiving.
Okay.
Of course,
Thank you.
though, it does go up for inflation. So if somebody passed
Right.
away 10 years ago, it will be inflated upwards. So,
Yeah,
you know,
COLAs, of course.
yeah. Okay, fair enough.
Thank you.
All right, thank you too. Okay. Alicia, you're up.
Hi, so I just have a clarifying question on the assumptions that Social Security makes on your Social Security statement for your benefit amounts. So for myself, I always thought that they're assuming that you're making what you did last year, and that you're going to work until age 70. And that's what those benefits, when they have if you claim at this age, this is what your benefits are. Someone else in my office thought that they assumed that you were working until full retirement age. I know that on the statement itself, it says these personalized estimates are based on your earnings to date and assume you continue to earn X amount per year, which is what you earned last year, until you start your benefits, but it doesn't clarify when you're starting your benefits. So I was wondering, do you happen to know what their assumption is for when you're going to stop working when they make those calculations?
Yeah, when they show the benefits, that's where they assume you're going to work to. So, whatever it is you earned last year, they assume you're going to work and earn until you're 63. When they give you your benefit at age 63, then you're going to earn that until 64 when they give you the age 64 rate. So it keeps going up all the way to age 70. At age 70, they assumed you were going to work and continue to earn that until age 70.
Okay, thank you.
Sure. Hey, Mike, just to get back with you on that, I pulled out my sheet. So, if the deceased number holder was eligible for a reduced retirement benefit and the widow is full retirement age, then she's eligible for the higher of the two, which is either what he was or she was receiving or 82.5% of the death PIA. So I guess it is possible that she could get a little bit more. Normally it's what he was receiving, but if he took it before his full retirement age, the easiest thing to tell people is you're going to get what they're receiving, but it could be 82.5% of the PIA.
Okay. Let's go to Jermaine. Hi, Jermaine.
Hi. I have two questions. The first question is, if someone spends time outside of the country, would they be penalized on their Social Security if it's more than a 6 months period being outside the country?
Depends on a couple of things. If the person is a U.S. citizen, then no, they'll continue to receive their benefit. If they're not a U.S. citizen, then the official rule is you draw benefits for 6 months, and those benefits stop until you return to the U.S. for 30 days or more. However, Social Security has what they call totalization agreements with about 28 countries. Canada, Mexico, the United Kingdom, all kinds of countries. Social Security has an agreement with those folks. And if you're a citizen and live in one of those countries, then the 6 months rule doesn't apply.
Okay. Second question. If someone is 52 years of age and their spouse passed away, that spouse was turning 65. However, the spouse passed away before they can even get onto Social Security. is the surviving spouse, even though the spouse is 52, can they claim benefits?
The surviving spouse is 52?
Yes, yes.
Unless they're disabled, no. The earliest they could draw a benefit would be age 60. Now, if the surviving spouse is disabled, they can draw the survivor benefit as early as age 50. But if not disabled, then age 60.
Okay, so even like with the kids, like let's say there's a child and the child wasn't disabled before, but claim that they are disabled now, they can get the benefit. Am I correct?
As long as they can show the child was disabled before the age of 22, then yes, the child can draw. And depending on the severity of the child's disability, it's possible that the surviving spouse might draw as having a child in care type of benefit.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
Thank you, Jermaine. Kelsey, you're next, Kelsey. You're on mute.
There we go.
There you
Sorry
go.
about that. I'm figuring it out. I even got my hand raised.
I know you
So
did
making
good.
progress. Well, my question today still kind of comes back to the earnings test. So part of our office is tax and accounting, and we have several S corporations where we have for individuals that own their own business, we pay them wages.
Yep.
Part
Wages.
of that, and then the
Yeah.
rest of that flows
Yeah.
through to them as income. But it's taxed a little differently.
Mhm.
So, does the entire amount that they have kind of
No.
outside of wages apply towards the earnings test?
No, only earned income, just the W-2 stuff.
Okay.
That's for an S corp. Partnerships are different, and I can't really talk about the partnerships or LLCs because the rules are more confusing there. But S corps are much more black and white. It's
Okay,
it's
so
only the W-2 income that's subject to the earnings test and subject to the FICA tax.
okay, perfect. I just wanted to make sure because we had some that, their wages were well below the earnings test, but they
Yeah,
had
sure.
additional income come through that would have bumped them over.
Yeah.
So,
As long
okay.
as the W-2 income is reasonable compensation, you're in good shape. And you have to
Okay.
determine that amount.
Yes. All right. Well, thank you. I appreciate the clarity on that.
Okay. Thanks, Kelsey. See, Jim, I can answer a question. Okay.
Yeah, it works for me.
Yeah, I went to Aaron, right? Okay. Teresa, my favorite Pittsburgh Steelers fan. Now, did Pittsburgh play this week? You had a bye? Okay.
I have a question. I think I'm thinking properly, but I'm not positive. I have a couple that are divorced, or just recently divorced. Mother has been disabled for quite some time. She's in her late 30s. Child is 14. Father is paying child support, but the child lives with mother. Is child entitled to 50% of mother's disability?
Yeah, she files and receives Social Security disability. The child, irregardless of whether dad's paying child support or even how much he's paying, the child's eligible. And the benefit, if it's just the one child, it's 50% of the PIA. You don't have to worry about Family Max.
Gotcha. And that's until he's out of school, correct?
Well, 18 or out of school.
Out of high school.
Yeah.
Okay.
Unless he's really dumb, and then it's 19.
I thought that I was thinking correctly, but I wanted to make sure.
Yeah.
Child support.
So, Teresa, who does Pittsburgh play next weekend? Okay. Hope they win. Hope they win. My Browns are out of it. So go Pittsburgh, go Bengals. Okay. All right. Peter, you're next. Anything, Peter? If not, we'll go to Bruce. Hello, Bruce. Oh, wait a second, Bruce. Sorry,
How
Peter.
you doing?
Peter jumped on. So let's go back to Peter. Go ahead, Peter.
Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, you're a little light, but we can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, so just a comment and a question. So I know someone had mentioned before about the amount on the Social Security statement and it has that disclaimer of this assumes that you continue to work. One thing, if you guys have any Social Security software you might want to look at, because this came up recently for me, is we use Social Security Analyzer, and we typically just take that statement and put in the number. And I noticed on the strategy list, the numbers that they had on the recommendation were a little bit different on Social Security. But I remember back to what you guys had mentioned in terms of on the Social Security statement, it assumes that if you continue to work, that will be your amount that you receive. But in the software, it will actually assume the amount that you'll get now. So it might be a little bit of a difference in the numbers, is what I'm saying. My question is, and I've heard about this for a couple of years now, but I recall at one point they had mentioned that you were going to be able to adjust the withholding for Social Security online. Did anything ever come of that, or is that still in the process?
No, I tend to believe you still have to fill out the form W4V.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, it's really kind of dumb that you can't do this online. It just is. Jim, anything you know?
Yeah, I haven't seen anything where that's one of the things you can do online now. So I think it's still you have to fill out the form.
Kind of stupid.
Okay.
But what am I to say? Who am I to say? All right. Anything else, Peter?
No, that's good. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. All right. Oh, well.
Hey, Mark, can I interject a comment or question? I'm sorry, before I forget. The lady that mentioned the 14-year-old that was receiving qualify for 50% of the parents' SSDI, correct? What happens if if they go to college, doesn't that last till 22 or something like that?
No, that ended a long time ago. It used to be that way, but now it ends at either 18, or if they're still in high school, it'll be paid until they graduate or reach age 19. But yeah, the in college stuff that ended a while back.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Sorry, Mark. Thank you for let me intrude.
Thanks, Barry. I want to go back to Bruce. Bruce, you're next.
How are you today?
We're good. Thanks for being here.
By the way, to Teresa's answer, I think they play the Commanders. I call them the Deadskins, but you know,
it's the Redskins.
But the people
it's the Redskins.
The people think that they're going to win a Super Bowl, and it's not gonna happen. I mean, these people have false hopes, but then again, my team, the Dolphins, we stink this year, so I can't talk about anything right now.
Okay.
But
and neither can
I really have nothing to say right now. And I vote. And just by the way, I voted about a month ago or a month and a half ago, and hopefully my vote matters and the right guy wins. And that's basically it. Need I say more?
Okay. Anything else, Bruce?
That's it.
Okay. Thank you, Bruce.
Yeah, first time I ever voted early. It's nice to have it out of the way.
Oh, it is. Agreed. You can sleep in tomorrow, Jim. All right, let's go to Bob. Bob, you're next. Here you go. Bob Allen.
Hey, could you just clarify? I always get tripped up on the deemed filing. Is that
sure
the only status that's not only status that's exempt from deemed filing is a widow? Is that correct?
And widowers.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
Thanks.
Well, yeah, we got to mention them too, you know. But yeah, you're right. Everyone else is subject to deemed filing.
Okay. Well, disability benefits are not subject to deemed filing.
Oh, okay. Good. Thank you, Jim.
All right. Okay, great. Thanks, Jim. Mark Eccles, you're next, Mark.
No, nothing today. Thank you, Mark.
Thank you too. Chris, you're next, Chris.
Morning all. Yeah, I was sitting here thinking about when we started talking about the availability to earn income. So in this scenario, I was trying to think about it because somebody asked me the question, and I sort of, as I started to think through, it didn't make sense. So I want clarity. So let's say somebody is going to be 62, and we'll say in 2025, and they decide they want to retire, but they're going to be 62 in, say, October, but their income, let's say they earn $100,000 by, let's say, July. That's over the next year's number of 62,160, which changes the reduction level from 3 to 1. So my question is if they turn on and turn 62 at in say October, and because they're over that limit for the full year, are they better off waiting, or will that $3 to $1 reduction penalty apply because they're taking it and they've exceeded in the year that they've earned that income? Does that make sense what I'm trying to ask?
Yeah, first of all, the 62,000 only is the year that they reach full retirement age.
Oh,
So
it's FRA age, so it's not, so if they take it early, but okay, so let's follow that
But
thought. So 60.
yeah, still the same thing. It's what they're going to look at is the monthly amount. So starting in October, when they're 62, and they want benefits to begin, because they went over the allowed amount for the year, they'll also ask them how much you're going to earn each month, and they can earn, as long as they earn $19.50 or less in October, November, and December, they'll still pay them for those months.
Okay, so it's on they've dissected into a monthly basis,
right?
Or the other solution is if they can wait, then the suggestion of waiting till the next calendar year would actually be, because their income should be lower too, then it won't. But either way, we're splitting hairs. I get it.
Yeah, if they wait till January, it's a little less of a reduction. They get a little bit more, and they don't have to use the monthly test. So if if they say at age 64 they go back to work and earn over the yearly amount, they may need to use a monthly test at that point to keep from losing some checks before they went back to work. Whereas if they took advantage of it and used it in 2025, it's gone. So a little bit, but yeah, you're right. It's kind of splitting hairs.
All right, cool. Thank you guys. And it's the Redskins, not the Commanders.
Yeah.
Thank you, Chris. Appreciate it. Hey, Frank, you're next, Frank. Okay, we'll go to Mike. Mike is using a note taker. Do you want to chime in, Mike? Okay, go to Elka. Hi, Elka. Okay. John. Hello, John. You're next.
Just listening in. Always
Okay.
like to learn and listen to you guys, but thanks. Thank you.
Thank you, John. Sue, you're next, Sue. Sue, you're on mute if you want to say something. Okay. We will go to David. Hello, David.
Good morning. No questions, but I will throw this out. What one NFL team does not have cheerleaders?
One does not. Is
Does
it
not.
East or West?
Be the Steelers.
There you go.
Okay. I would not have known that. Okay, thanks, David. All right, Sue, you unmute yourself. Go ahead.
Okay, can you hear me, gentlemen?
Yep. Mhm.
Okay, we're good. Okay, here's a question. The kick the can philosophy. It's a good thing they all have good groin muscles for kicking this can all the time about Social Security, pass it along until it becomes so dead. They've got it exactly where they want it, and they either privatize it or just cut across the board. Okay, so we're going to be with some type of new administration shortly. If you two were strategizing, what is the key strategy or questions that you would push out there that would force them into making a decision, and preferably the right decision for the millions out there and for the future generations, please? Any insights, please?
Jim, go ahead, buddy.
Yeah, it's hard to force a politician into anything. You can't even get them to answer questions directly as it is. But the only thing you can do is keep pressuring them, because the sooner they make the changes, the less painful it's going to be for everybody. There are proposals out there, so they should at least look at what's out there. Of course, that's got to get through Congress first before the the president would sign off or not sign off on it. But until they receive a lot of public pressure or it's the last minute, they're not going to do anything about it.
Okay, and what avenue would you pose that the public will know these individuals are absolutely shouldn't be in office? Embarrass the hell out of them.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I don't know. I'm really not sure what the right answer would be for that.
I echo Jim.
Okay, Marco Polo. Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, we're like politicians too. We don't directly answer questions.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I do a radio show also, and there's the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but solutions. Okay. I've noticed about spouses, the surviving spouse, the divorced spouse, depending on if they fit in those scenarios, but the existing spouse, they seem to have less flexibility, don't they?
That is true.
Okay, and what is just the parameter that funnels them in the gauntlet? So they have not as much flexibility.
Well, they can't file off of their spouse's work record until they file for benefits. So unlike, say, an independently entitled divorced spouse where you've been divorced 2 years, all that is required is your ex is 62. Well, so are you. If you're a spouse, that's too bad. If your spouse is going to wait till 70 and you're not eligible on your own work record, you're going to wait till they're 70. So it's just dependent upon when they begin their benefits.
Okay, so let's say the intelligent spouse, files regardless of the older one. And then the older one files and has a lot more Social Security benefits in that. Does that change the more intelligent spouse who really needed the funds to begin with?
Yeah, it can. If the lower earning spouse's PIA is less than half of the other individual's PIA, then yeah, when they file, they'll get a boost on top of that. That's the spousal boost that we talk about.
So that's the only thing really available for them then is the spousal boost.
Yeah, I mean, they can take their own, and then later when their spouse files, they can get the boost.
Okay. Thank you very much, gentlemen.
Okay, thank you, Sue. David, did I get to you, David? I think I did. Okay. Kathy, you're next, Kathy.
Hi there. So I have a couple quick questions. So I got a client that her husband's 78 years old and he hasn't started collecting yet because he's got some skeletons in his closet and I'm not really sure what that's all about. But he hasn't started collecting Social Security because he says that they're going to take all his benefits. Can he start collecting, or is there some kind of penalty for waiting so long and now he buried himself?
The only penalty is he lost all those benefits from age 70. He can only go back 6 months. Okay. I'm wondering if the skeletons have anything to do with IRS because, Social Security is just going to pay him based off of what's on his earnings record. If he didn't pay his taxes, Social Security doesn't care. They won't pay him, or it won't be used in the calculation. Whereas, it might draw the attention of IRS or something. That's just a guess, but yeah, I don't know what else there might be, but no penalty from Social Security.
Okay, because he files a joint tax return with his wife, so they would have heard something. So my other question is Social Security is constantly pushing down everybody's throat to take 6 months in arrears for payments. Generally, is that a bad idea? It reduces your benefit, right? And other than the fact that, you think you're going to die sooner than later or anything like that. Do you have a comment on, when that really is a good idea to do?
Yes, definitely a personal decision. Is the 6 months worth of money that they're going to pay you worth the 4% reduction you're going to lose? It not only reduces your benefit 4%, but if you're the higher earner, it reduces the survivor benefit. So you just have to factor that in. Kind of depends on, sometimes if you're the lower earner and you're past full retirement age and you haven't filed yet, go ahead and take the 6 months because any increase for delayed retirement credits comes off dollar for dollar for the spousal benefits. So at some point you'll be eligible as a spouse. Excuse me. Then, go ahead and take the 6 months. But if you're the higher earner, my personal opinion, no, but it's up to the person.
Right. So no, you mean, and no meaning that you shouldn't go back 6 months.
Yeah,
For the most part.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't think so. But that especially somebody that's say they're close to 70 and get ready to file at age 70, you've waited that long anyway.
Yeah.
Why not get the full amount?
Right. And then I will share with you, I had a client that met on the last call, we talked about how you can go to any Social Security governmental office. I had a client that did that, and they said, well, because she was looking for divorce spousal benefits, and they told her, listen, if you drop your paperwork off, we're just going to send it to the office that you're supposed to be in. So that don't work.
Yeah, all it takes is a little statement from her that says, I prefer this office, and they can't do that. But it's just getting,
yeah.
It's
They
getting
gave her a hard
ridiculous.
time, and they gave her a printout and said, here, go home and look at all of this and then come back because you have to decide whether you want to take benefits before we'll give you an appointment to talk about it. I thought that was pretty rough.
Yeah, that's that. I mean, I realize they're having staffing issues, but there's no sense taking it out on the general public.
Yep. Thank you.
Thanks, Kathy. Yvonne, you're next.
Good morning.
Hi.
I have a question about in states that allow domestic partners. If one is younger than the other and they have been married basically for 2 years and get a divorce, is the younger spouse entitled to any of his Social Security?
Well, it would be the same as any other marriage. You have to. It has to last 10 years or more for you to be eligible.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Lee, you're next, Lee. Do you want to say anything, or you just need to get your system up and running? Okay, we'll go on. Barry, you're next, Barry.
Nothing for me, Mark. I just got my Pee Wee Herman ears on this morning.
Okay, I hope you
Yeah.
fill up your conference room down there. A lot of people, no one in View, but lots of workstations set up. Anyway. I go to Jade. Hi, Jade.
Good morning. No questions for me, but I really appreciate all of you who have done questions today. They have been pretty incredible.
Thanks, Jade. Jeff. Hi, Jeff. Anything you want to say, Jeff, or are you trying to find your unmute button? Can't hear you, buddy. All right, we will move on to Tony Bryan.
Good morning. I don't have anything, Mark.
Okay.
But the Browns suck, but we have the Cavs. So
Yeah,
we're
I got the
undefeated.
Cavs. I know that tonight. Who do they play tonight?
I don't know who they.
Milwaukee.
I don't know. Milwaukee.
Milwaukee
We'll
comes
beat
to
them.
town. Yeah, I know. I can't believe they're 7-0. Okay, we'll
It's
go
weird to
on.
say that out loud.
Oh yeah. I hope I didn't just jinx them. All right, we'll go to Philip Martin. Philip, you're next.
Hey, Mark, thanks. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can.
All right. So somebody kind of got got me thinking about a question that came up. So here goes. I'll try to condense some of these details. There's a married couple. Both are retiring. One has work history in the U.S. The other is Canadian. They are married. Does it matter where they end up retiring? Physically, if they were retired and live in Canada or live in the U.S., would it matter or impact her ability to receive her spousal benefits from his work history?
Well, for her to draw off of him, they have to have lived in the U.S. for 5 years at some point. Doesn't have to be immediately before she filed, but at some point they would have needed to have lived here as a married couple for 5 years or more. And then it doesn't matter. Canada is one of the totalization countries. So once she becomes eligible, she'll be able to draw benefits and then eventually maybe survivor benefits too. They're still payable. She's not subject to that 6-month rule.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thanks, Philip. Darlene, you're next.
Good morning, Mark. I don't have any questions today. Thanks.
Okay, Darlene, thank you. Christian, you're next, Christian. Okay, we'll move on to Mary Ann. Hello, Mary Ann.
Nothing today. Y'all have a good day.
Thanks, Mary Ann. Ethan.
Just listening in. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Mike, you're next, Mike. Mike Decker, do you want to say anything? Okay, we'll go to Erlina. Hi, Erlina.
Hey guys, I've got nothing for you. Just listening.
Okay, thank you. Plachette, you're next.
Don't have any questions, just listening in, but great questions on the totalization agreements.
Okay, yeah. Thank you, Plachette. Luke, you're next, Luke.
Hey, Mark, no questions this morning. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Matt, you're next, Matt.
Morning, guys. A couple questions and maybe just one actually. If you are on a widow or widower benefit, will they sign you up for Medicare Part B automatically? Do we know?
Yeah, if you're receiving a benefit, even the survivor benefits, 3 months before you're 65, you receive a Medicare card in the mail, and it signs you up for Part A and Part B. If you don't want the Part B because you're covered, say, through an employer group health plan, you can refuse it, but they will automatically sign you up. So if you're drawing a benefit, you don't have to go through the process of filling out the paperwork.
Okay, so any benefit counts for that.
Right.
Okay. And the other question I had is someone that wants to suspend their benefit because they don't need it anymore for whatever reason. I know they have the option within the first year to pay back the benefit, what they received. If it's outside that first year and they're not going to pay it back and they suspend the benefit, is it still going to grow? And do those grow at the same rate, or how does that work?
Yeah, you still earn the delayed retirement credits. It's the same rate. It's just, as you mentioned, they don't count the months you received your benefit. So if somebody was 68 and they called today and said, I want to suspend my benefits, it would start with December, and December would be a delayed retirement credit month until they either begin their benefits again or they reach age 70.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks, Matt. Jermaine, you raised your hand.
Yes, I have another question.
Okay, you're a little on the light side there.
Can you hear me now?
Not great, but we'll do our best.
Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, now we can.
Okay. My question is, if a spouse went on to start claiming Social Security out FRA 4 years ago, and his wife just retired, so she's now 65, can she apply for Social Security on her own claiming benefits? Can she apply to get the spousal boost?
Spousal boost would be automatic. So she has to. He's already receiving his benefits, right, Jermaine?
Yes.
So when she files, deemed filing requires that she file for the spousal boost also. So she'll have to indicate her husband's name and social security number, stuff like that, so they could identify him.
Okay.
It's automatic. You have to file, but you got to do it. Yeah. You can't wait.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks, Jermaine. Okay. Somebody just joined us. I don't know who it is offhand. Jim, pick a number between Oh, let's see. 1 and 36.
14 and 35.
Barry Thomas is one of the winners. So send me an email, Barry, and I will send you a gift card. You said 36, right, Jim?
35.
35. Okay. Plachette, you're also a winner. Hope I counted okay. We'll see. So anyway, Barry and Plachette, send me an email, mkiner@mypremierplan.com. I'll send it to Aaron. Aaron will send you electronically, each of you, a $50 Amazon gift cards. And also,
Awesome.
just so you know, probably next year, gift cards will kind of go away. I don't think they're going to want to give out gift cards. We'll see, but don't count on it. Okay, just something. This is something Harold wanted to do, so we continued it for a while, for as long as we could. All right. See, there's a couple people in chat here. It's a question here, Jim. I'm having technical issues. My question is: the wife is 62. Her benefit is 179. Probably sounds like yours, Jim.
Yeah.
Her husband is 59 and will work till 67. Should she take hers now and then the spousal boost when he gets his benefit? Would she get more later off him if she delays? Go ahead, Jim.
If she delayed till her full retirement age, she would get the most that way. But I would suggest she go ahead and file at 62 because the reduction isn't, 30% reduction of $179 isn't all that much. So I'd go ahead and file and take the benefit. But technically speaking, she won't end up with 50% of his PIA once he does file. But why wait those extra? Well, at this point, it's 5 years just to get a few more dollars. So I would say filing at 62 is her best bet, but it'd be her choice.
Jim, let's go to some of the questions that we may have received recently. What was the last question you received? Last couple.
I've received a few. Oh, I had it in my mind and now it slipped. Hang on a second. Okay. Yeah, one of the questions I had was, oddly enough, on totalization, does the windfall apply? And yes, it does. The windfall applies based off of the benefit you receive from the foreign country. So if you're eligible for, say, a Canadian benefit and a U.S. benefit, your U.S. benefit will be reduced for windfall. However, if you're eligible, as we had one of the questions today for the spousal benefit, GPO is not included in that. So if you get a pension from a foreign country, GPO does not apply, and you'll still get your full Social Security benefit. So let's see. Question on widows' benefits. If it increased past full retirement age, that is the most you're going to receive. A widow or widower will receive the highest benefit at their full retirement age. So waiting beyond that does not increase the benefit. Now, if the number holder who's deceased had waited past full retirement age, then yes, it does increase it. So the survivor benefit is based off of the PIA plus any delayed retirement credits the deceased had earned. But you are still subject to the earnings test if you're under your full retirement age. That applies really to any benefit other than disability benefits. So that's still going to apply as well.
Jim, any update on HR 282 would repeal weapon GPO?
I haven't heard anything on that yet, so I guess they're all out too busy campaigning.
True.
Nobody's voting on anything. Maybe next week or so, in the next week or so, we might hear something, but so far, no.
Okay. Jim, it's amazing how many people confuse taxation of benefits with the annual earnings test. Do you agree?
Yeah, that happens a lot. They're completely different. You can be, the rules for the earnings test apply based off of your earnings, but it doesn't mean that you are or are not subject to federal income tax or state, depending on your state. That they're two separate issues. So you could be hit by both or neither.
So, taxation of benefits for a married filing joint tax return will begin at the $32,000 level of provisional income. And the 85% bracket is at the $44,000 of provisional income. And that relates to how much of the benefits are subject to income tax. Like Jim said, there are some states that will tax your benefits and some will not. 9 states may tax your benefits. They may. It's in their law that they may tax your benefits. I can't read off to you all 9 states, but 9 states may tax your benefits. 41 states will not. And also the District of Columbia will not tax any benefits at all. And of course, we've got the annual earnings test. And the thing going on there is how much of your benefits will be withheld due to the amount of earned income. So sometimes I get a question from an advisor that looks innocent enough. They're talking about the taxation of benefits, but they're really talking about the annual earnings test. And then this one advisor threw in the wage cap of $176,100. So I knew that this person was confused. I hope this person gives me a call so we can discuss it further. Jim, let's talk about that spousal boost. What percentage of the married couples that you meet with will have a spousal boost payable to lower earning spouse?
Now, it seems pretty small, maybe 20% or less.
When you and I,
all the time.
Yeah, when you and I first got together in 2010, what was the percentage approximately?
Yeah, just guessing.
I know.
70%.
And when you first started working at SSA, what would it have been then?
I don't know. A lot
Higher. Let's just say higher. So the reason why it's fallen so much is twofold. Number one, the earnings of the lower income spouse has gone up. And also the lower earning spouse is using all of Ben point 1, which is 90%, probably a lot of, if not all of Ben point 2, which is 32%, whereby the high earning spouse is also using Ben point number 3, which is at 15%. So every year, fewer and fewer of your clients, married couples, that is, will have a spousal boost payable to a lower earning spouse. Are you all seeing the same thing we're seeing? Are you seeing that number coming down? Yeah, I'm not. Okay. A lot of people are shaking their heads. Yes, I'm not asking for the percentage because that's always a guessing game too. But, I can definitely make sense that it would be coming down.
I did have one the other day, though,
Yeah.
and the wife was going to get a whopping $19 in spousal benefits. So she was almost eligible for too much on her own, but she squeaked in there and was going to get $19 whole.
I'm sure Medicare might eat that up.
Yeah, but every little bit helps. I don't know. I haven't heard yet anything official on the Medicare adjustment. For Part B, last I heard about $10 up to $185. No clue what the IRMAA stuff's going to do yet, but hopefully we'll hear about that sometime soon.
Jim, what's substantial earnings for WEP in 2025?
I'll be 32,700 next year. It's substantial earnings on the windfall chart.
Yeah, it's gone up from what was it, 30? 1,600 maybe. I don't know. What's it
Yes,
into?
I don't remember.
I don't know. It
I only
doesn't matter.
remember the 32.7 because I got it written down on my fact sheet.
And I have it written down on my business card. So WEP substantial earnings, 32,700. And Jim, does that get indexed for inflation?
It does not. That's actual earnings.
Got it. Thank you. Jim, let's talk about filing for benefits online. Now, we always suggest that folks do file online. There's no doubt about it. But there are 4 benefits you're not able to file for online. Jim, do you remember what those are?
Well, it might be down to 3.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
good.
you can't file for survivor benefits online. Can't file for kids online.
2.
Um,
Spousal boost.
That's the one I think that you can do now.
Okay. How certain are you?
More than 50%, but not 100%.
Okay, well, you'll know pretty sometime, right? Somebody will ask you to file for the spousal boost, and you'll.
Yeah, next time I get somebody that wants to do it, we'll give it a try. But I've seen it on the Facebook page group that I'm on with current and former employees from Social Security. And by the way, they moan, groan, and lots of gnashing of teeth over the issues with the Social Security office too. The people that work there aren't happy about it either. At least a lot of the ones that try to do a good job. So,
and if the fourth one that you're not able to file online, well, now I guess it's the third, is the child and care benefit.
Oh, right, child and care.
Yeah. Jim, the commissioner of Social Security, Merchant J. O'Malley, about maybe 9 months ago, made a comment that he was really happy because the administrative expenses represent less than 1% of benefits paid out. So he's really happy about that. But Jim, I take a different view on that. I'm not happy about that. It's only less than 1% because that's how much Congress will give them, I guess. And with 75 million baby boomers, 68 million Social Security recipients, they need more people. So yeah, you can have a really tight staffing situation and keep your percentage down, but that doesn't make a lot of sense. It just can't get the money. Jim, does everybody agree? Jim, that you and the Social Security reps agree?
Yeah, I mean, that makes some sense that they need more funding. The other problem is, way back in '83 when they changed it and said, okay, if you work for the government, now you're going to pay Social Security tax.
Yep.
Well, what it did was, now if you've got a substantial number of years with Social Security and you get fed up, you can quit and go get another job and you're not hurting yourself too bad. One reason I stayed a few times when I got ticked off and was thinking about quitting was because, well, I haven't been paying into Social Security, so I'm going to screw up my civil service and not get much from Social Security. So I was kind of stuck. Mm-hmm. In the end, it worked out, but people are coming and going, and that's part of the problem. I guess other agencies steal a lot of the employees too. So
that's what I hear. Their SSA is a division of giving employees away, not taking them from other agencies.
I had a few I'd have liked to have given away, but.
All right, folks, that ends today's webinar. Zoom, I should say, the open forum. We will see you, I think, maybe in a couple more weeks, but I don't know for sure when our next one is. And as information becomes available relating to the restructuring to be effective in January, I will let everybody know. Take care, everybody. Bye.
Bye.